Oh, someone's liked it already. I haven't even started. Thank you for the thumbs up. That's really sweet. Let me just sign out of Facebooky. Okay. I couldn't think of a title, so it's just non-duality. Straight, plain non-duality. So welcome to the broadcast. Is this light too bright? I don't know. Maybe not. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, just two things to mention actually. So I do one-to-ones, but there's an issue with my booking system. So I've took it all off the website, and you have to book a one-to-one, you have to basically just email me at my email address, which is below the video here, I think, or if not, it's on my website. I'm sure you can find it. It's rebekahmaroon@gmail.com to book a one-to-one, because I couldn't get it to work properly, the booking system. So just do it through email from now on. It's a lot simpler. That's for one-to-ones. Second thing to mention is I'm doing a scatterbrain. I'm doing a I decided to use Skype rather than Zoom. It made sense just to continue with Skype. So I'm doing a Skype group, offline group chat on Sunday at 10:30. That's 10:30 a.m. So you can join that as well on Sunday. So that was it. Just one-to-ones and the Sunday thing. And this is all written on my website, rebekahmaroon.com. If you go to upcoming events, you'll see it there about the Sunday meeting, and then the one-to-ones is under sessions, I think. So yeah, that's sorted. As for this, I do these talks online for free every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on this YouTube channel. And for this talk, you ask questions through Skype. For the monthly Skype group chat, I have put a suggested fee of £10. But I've also said that if you can't pay that, or you don't want to pay that, or you don't feel to pay that, then you can pay whatever. You can donate £1 or £5 or nothing at all. I've left it kind of open for people to donate or not, rather than have a fixed fee. So I quite like that. So yeah. And that is all I have to say on the matter. I've done my hair. I quite like it. I have a bit of red in. I wasn't sure whether to do that or not, take it out, but I've kept it in. I feel a bit too old to have red streaks in my hair, but I thought, oh well. I am 40 in 2 months. 40 years old. Yes. Yeah, so thank you for listening to all that, and welcome to the broadcast. I'm a little scruffy today, but this is my holy top, as you can see. So you might see me doing this in the. You might see holes during this stream. Unfortunately, just change this cushion. It's a bit too big. Let's try this one. But I haven't been out today, so I haven't made the effort or anything. So I'll just sit for a little bit, and then I'll introduce the subject. And there is no specific title, but I'll just still speak about something, I'm sure. And then you can ask questions. So non-duality, as far as I am concerned, isn't like other subjects or other topics, because it's not talking about an experience in like the human world of things. So it isn't talking about improving your situation, your circumstances, your character, your behaviors, your conditioning. It's not talking about acquiring more things, more money, being more successful, improving your characters, or being more friendlier, or being more kinder, or more sympathetic, or more patient. It isn't about having a better emotional state, so being always happy or always positive, or being always high on joy. Isn't talking about a mental state, so isn't talking about being mentally clear, or being educated, or being at a high level of whatever thing it is you're trained in, qualified. Isn't talking about any of that. Which is quite a shocking thing, that it isn't talking about any of that human stuff. Because usually we come to this message, we come to this spiritual path, and it's about maybe we believe it's about coming home, or getting back to that place of innocence, finding peace, finding freedom. But a lot of it, or on the way of this path, it seems to be a lot about trying to get this freedom for me, get this happiness for me. And so because this me is seemingly a someone, it feels like it has to then sort itself out so it can be good enough to get there, or arrive there, get that love, get that freedom. If only I could sort out my finances, or sort out my children, or sort out my trauma from being a child, or sort out my impatience, or whatever it is. If I can be a better human, then I will arrive at this idea of perfection. And we love the idea of perfection. We look at movie stars and think they're perfect, or we look at holy figures and think, oh, they're perfect on the human level. So as a human, they're functioning as this peaceful, always peaceful, always loving, this permanent way of being. And that's an endless trip. And it's a tiring trip. We're always striving, always working towards, always having to improve, always looking for a better technique, or a better approach, or a clearer understanding. But this message is so beautiful in that it's talking about something unconditional, something not contained or limited in our human way of seeing things. So good and bad, right and wrong. It isn't contained in the conditioned mind. So it's totally free. And it's unjudging of all of those things. It doesn't have good and bad and right and wrong. It's totally free of all that. And it allows, let's say, it allows those things to play, to appear, to function, good and bad, right and wrong. But they aren't they aren't inherently true. As humans, we give these things meaning. Yes, this really is good, this really is bad, but it's just a way of us being able to organize, really, organize and categorize things, to communicate with each other and plan and yeah, sort things out. But what is really looked for is that which is free of those conditions. That which is itself already perfection, regardless of the conditioned human. Absolute perfection. Absolutely whole and complete. And couldn't possibly need anything. There's a longing to unite with that, to dissolve into that. It's actually a beautiful thing. We just mistakenly believe, not intentionally or consciously, but there's a belief that dissolving in that can happen by dissolving in a person, an activity, so maybe eating food or watching television or an experience. And in a way, those things do seem to deliver a temporary dissolving. You can lose yourself in having a meal or watching a program or whatever the activity is, playing music or walking, going for a walk or something. There can be moments of that dropping or collapsing. Where there is just eating, scoffing your face. There is just walking. But that, let's call it dissolving, is always available. It's always available. We believe these things, these seeming objects, are appearing separate from what we are. So we're here and then objects are appearing. But that isn't the actual experience. That's an idea we've developed and grown into. It's never been true that there is somebody here experiencing everything else out there. There is just experiencing happening. There is just forms, appearances happening. And that can't be disputed, really, because that's the experience, that life is happening. There wasn't an asking to wake up in the morning, for the eyes to open, for the brain to start functioning, or thoughts to start functioning. There wasn't a request for that to happen, and yet it happens. The body moves, thoughts appear, feelings appear. Children appear, neighbors appear. And this is pointing back to that, the actual experience, not pointing to knowledge that you've learned. So if you look at what you've not learned, so by peeling back all this knowledge you've learned about who you are, who the other is, who the world is, what things are, if you peel all that back, if you look beyond what you think you know, beyond what the thoughts are saying, back to the actual experience of what is happening, you don't know anything. There just is what there is. There just is what there is. But that isn't very appealing. That isn't very appealing to this sense of a story of someone who's looking for something. Who's believed there's something in time. That there is time. There's a future moment that will arrive. And that is better than what's currently happening. What a dream. So non-duality is simply pointing back to this, to what you are. Or when I say what you are, maybe you can see how the mind immediately produces an idea of the body of someone, of a person, of a human. As if that's truly who you are. An image, a flat image. And it's a beautiful thing to begin to wake up to, that fact that you aren't that image, you aren't that idea, you aren't that story that's been playing. You aren't the body, you aren't the gender, you aren't the nationality, you aren't the preferences, the conditionings. That isn't who you are. It's not a denying of those things appearing, those ideas appearing, but it's not a truth. It doesn't indicate someone, a person, an entity. So this question that is often asked in this tradition is, who are you? Who are who are you? Who are you? And it's a really beautiful question. Not beautiful for the mind. The mind gets frustrated by that question because it tries to answer that question. It believes it can find the answer to that. It believes the answer is something. So it sets about trying to find a thing. It can say, I am this, I am that. But the question just asks, who are you? I used to hate it, actually, that question. I never used to actually answer it. I'd never try and answer it. I tended to prefer, my teacher used to say that question, but also give the option of not that question, but give the option of like being, this sense of being. That question can be quite head fucky for the head, like for the head fucky for the mind. Like it can get really blown by that question. So I'd prefer just the sense of being. But well, when the mind's not involved in that question, which sounds really bizarre because as humans we're so used to words and like questions meaning something and being real and having an answer. But if that question can just be asked, who are you? It's quite a beautiful question. Because the mind can produce anything. It can produce your name, your nationality, your gender, etc. All these things you believed were who a part of you, like I am this story of someone. But as it's seen, that's coming up. It's an appearance, it's a label, it can't be who you are. So who are you? I think it's the whole netty practice of can't be that, it can't be that, it can't be that. And it isn't intellectual, like it's not a mental thing, it can't be that. It's more like a seeing that's coming up. It can't be who I am. Like who's seeing that? Who's seeing that? It's really beautiful. I'm not saying to do that, by the way. I'm just describing what kind of things that are mentioned in this spiritual awakening. Different things that are spoken about. I think you do whatever you do, whatever happens. If you do that, you do that. If you do meditation, then you do that. If you do sitting, thinking about non-duality questions, then you do that. If you scream and break things, you do that. Whatever happens. If you do yoga, you do that. But none of these things are about doing them to get to something. This isn't about getting to something or arriving at something. It's more subtle than that. It's not about this go from A to B. It's more a revealing of something that cannot not be here, like it always is. So it isn't a personal achievement. It's just the natural naturalness of this. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's it for now of me talking. I'll just go online on Skype and see. We have some questions already. Hi, Lola. New here. Thank you. Looks nice. Thank you very much. Anchor. Hi, Anchor. I can't see very well. I should try and turn this around, but I'm scared to move too many things in case I make it worse. Okay, I'll do that. I like your hair too. Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful, sweet presence. What does this me? What does this? Oh, what does make this me drop off? Is this sense of me or I that currently experience able to do anything, able to do something to drop? Thank you. What does make this me drop off? Well, that sense of you isn't a valid sense of someone. It isn't a true someone. Like a whisper, it's not true. It can't do or not do. It's not actually a real thing. So questions of can I do or can I not do are based on this sense of believing you are real. That sense of I am true. I really am a separate person. Like this story of me that's playing is actually really a separate someone. And is there a way for it to get out of that? It's like a dropping back that you can't do, because who is that one who could do that? That's the illusion. Who are you to make anything happen? Oh, sorry, I have to accept you. Accept. Oh, that's a cute dog. Thank you, Anchor. Anchor. Oh yes, Prachi. I remembered to check your message again. Hi, Rebekah. Could you please talk a little bit about your ego's journey and which master influenced you to drop it? Talk a bit about your ego's journey. Ego's journey. I'm assuming you mean that the story of Rebekah, and particularly the spiritual journey of Rebekah, not the childhood bit or the teenage bit but the spiritual journey of Rebekah. Not really. I mean, I don't feel to talk about it right now. Just that I went to different speakers and read books and went to different things. But nothing's special about it. There was a desperation, deep desperation from being a child, really. I had a Christian upbringing, in a way, not really, but in a way. I really loved the story of Jesus, and so I was touched by the idea of God, of there being this all-powerful, all-loving being. So I was drawn to that for a while. Yeah, so that was in me from a young age, I suppose. So yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that really. And which master influenced you to drop it? Life was the master that influenced the dropping of that. The pain and the suffering of that story, I guess, is what fueled this drive. How difficult it was to live as someone, to live life as this story. It wasn't that someone dropped it, it was just life. Life was too painful. And so it was looking for a way out of that. I tried to commit suicide when I was in my early 20s. After putting it off for 10 years in my teens, I gave in at 21, I think. Yeah, to it, and didn't actually happen in the end, but I attempted to. And then I met someone a few years later who said about you could meet God while you were alive. And that was really like, whoa, what? I could meet God while I was alive? It was really inspiring. So yeah, I don't know. But I would, yeah, I would say that suffering influenced that dropping, but it wasn't like there was a choice in that. It was just yeah. But it isn't like anything's really hurt by that suffering. like what I'm talking about isn't dependent upon there being suffering or not suffering. There's a freedom. It's never left. It's never moved. It can't. So the suffering story moves. But this can't. What's experiencing all of this can't. Thank you, Prachi. Oh, you're welcome, Anchor. Hi, Vittorio. Hi, Vittorio. What is the relationship between consciousness, love, and truth? Hi. Consciousness, love, and truth. I'm not sure I can like separate those things out. I'm sure some speakers can and do, but I'm not sure I'm able to separate those things out into three different categories: consciousness, love, and then truth, and say how they intermingle together. I can't really do that. I'm not sure. Does the revealing of this something is this sense of being? Does the revealing of this, I don't know what that means. Naturally I am, and you can't describe it in any way, isn't it? No name or words or descriptions can ever really describe it. I mean, obviously we use words and language and names to try to talk about this subject, and it's beautiful that we express this. This is expressed through us, through humans. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, the word will never be it. The words are never able to describe this. That isn't a problem. They don't need to. Da, da, da. Because they are one. Because they are one, you mean? Oh, the love, consciousness, and truth. Yeah, Yeah, I just can't separate them out. I don't know. I can't separate them out. I don't know. Okay. Thank you for your question, Vittorio. Oops. Okay, so there's no more questions at the moment, so maybe that's it for this evening. Okay, so thank you very much for joining. I'm doing the private Skype group on Sunday. You can join that at 10:30. Yes, that is all. So I shall see you soon. Have a good week and have a good week.